Yeah. I lightweight think that's what got me fucking shafted for this job at Fidelity that I fucking did an interview for.
Yeah.
Did you not get it?
No, they fucking messaged me like 30 minutes.
Probably checked your fucking Snapchat.
Checked it. Well, you can't see my Snapchat,
but like,
yeah, they probably checked my social media and was like, "Wow, this kid's actually fucking psycho."
Who's this Collin kid? He keeps tagging memes in.
Right, bro.
Yeah, the amount of memes that you.
But
guys
I've actually calmed down a lot with the social media antics.
I haven't. I need to though.
I mean. I'm still gonna like share my memes no matter what, but when it comes down to it, I had to chill because I know that there's you start going through like and doing like a podcast and like you actually start worrying about like the type of people that are listening to you and following you and shit like that, and then you realize that a bunch of people that like were really close friends with you just don't follow you on social media anymore. It's like but it's not just the memes for me because I'll go on there and like incite fucking riots and shit like that. I just try to piss people off.
It's literally just the memes for me.
I
consider myself
a Facebook guy. You guys, in terms of my Facebook traffic, you two are definitely the biggest two in terms of like
commodity on there.
Now, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know him as much anymore. I really don't check my Facebook, but I'll check it like every Thursday.
I used to tag you on stuff, and I was like, well, he's not really a big on Facebook.
Yeah, we go back and forth more on Instagram, yeah, I will like not check it for 3 or 4 days, and then it'll just have all of like the things you missed, and it was just like keep calling.
Yeah,
I've seen like one other person.
But dude, it's honestly pretty cool because I'm not kidding you. Like, I've had so many people like that I like haven't talked to me forever. Like, dude, we watch your Facebook memes all the time, and we die.
Yeah, that's
like,
good. That feels
and then
good.
like the Snapchats of when me and Allie go out to dinner all the time, and I just start fucking chugging beers.
Beers, yeah.
The beers thing is one of the.
I got a huge following for that. Everyone on my Snap, I have over like a couple hundred people on Snapchat, and there is a good amount that are like, dude, you need to keep these going. They are hilarious.
I actually do enjoy that. And for anybody that has no idea what the fuck we're talking about, Colin, when he's at dinner with his wife, literally just chugs a beer.
Are we on right now?
Yeah, we're on.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. We just
I'd like to keep it fucking.
Colin's back,
bro.
Yeah,
I'm back, boys.
Hawaiian Lion.
Yeah, the Hawaiian Lion. Oh, Kunkel fuck back in the fucking studio, man.
He's in the fold, baby.
Glad to be here, fellas.
So yeah, no, for anybody who has no idea what we're talking about, he'll be at like a dinner, even if it's a nice place, which cracks me the fuck up. You'll be in like a polo or a button up, and you'll just be like, oh, hey, sweetheart, you want to see me do it? You want to see me do it? And she'll be like, please don't. And then he turns the camera back on himself, chugs the beer, and he's like, ta-da. And he has done it. And it sounds probably lame as shit if you haven't seen it, but it is so fucking funny with how literally disrespected she feels in the moment.
My wife gets very, very mad. Like, the first time I ever did it, we were at Jeff Ruby's, and I took her out for her birthday. Mm-hmm. I had just gotten back from a month-long rotation of a training exercise down in Louisiana, and I haven't seen her. I was like, let's go to dinner, celebrate you, and then celebrate us getting married, blah blah blah. And I was like, I'm getting kind of bored. I was like, let's spice it up a little bit. And so I just started chugging this beer, and she was like, what the fuck are you doing? We are in Jeff Ruby's and you're chugging beers like you're at some fucking grad party right now. I was like, okay, sorry.
It is what it is.
So then you made it into a brand.
Well, not a grab, but I just kind of do
We are a fucking city of drinkers, though, so it should be expected at Jeff Ruby's, if anything.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one who speaks about Cincinnati like Jeff Ruby. He's kind of like an icon of the city.
I've never been to Jeff Ruby's.
I used to do some audio video work where like these doctors would have these meetings and just discuss a whole bunch of shit that was like kind of over my head, but like I kind of knew it. It was my audio video technician job, and I went in there. It's not as bougie as I thought it would be, at least looking. Right. But then you look at the menu and shit, and it's
bougie
like
fucking menu.
Yeah, bro, it's like $100 steaks and shit. And so these doctors would have their little meetings, and like the Jeff Ruby or whoever was like paying for the like catering that they would have in these little private rooms, and they had like the the menus that they had, you could only pick certain shit for that night. So they had like 2 specials, an appetizer, blah blah blah. The whole like 3-course meal and shit like that. And I remember one of the rules that we had when I was working there was like, you're not supposed to accept any food or water or like drinks or anything. And I was like,
really?
Yeah. I was
and
like,
what's the point?
Exactly. I was like, I'm going to this bougie ass restaurant for these doctors, and they'd always offer me shit, dude, all the time, because they like wouldn't eat it all. So it's just like, you want this, and I'm like, yeah. But I can.
I'm just a college boy trying to make it in life.
God damn,
bro.
that sucks. Actually, I ran across that. I used to do events down at the Red Stadium, just hoping I'd get my foot in the door. It never panned out, but either way, there'd be so many random events, and a lot of weddings would come through, and some rowdier folks would come out, and I'd be like working quote unquote security,
right,
making sure nobody did anything stupid, and people would be like, hey dude, you want a shot, like you want a beer, you want this, that, and the other. I'm like, boy would I, but
boy would I.
Unfortunately, no fucking dice.
Yeah. At my new job, there's been a couple times where like we're like moving or whatever. So I've moved twice since I've been at my job in a year. We moved from one place that was like literally a fucking hallway. Like, it was one of those strip malls that you have, and it was one of the smaller places.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like they had to build their own partitions between the office.
Did you
and the
ever
back.
throw a hot dog down it?
Oh, hot dog down the hallway. I
Shut
get it.
up, Colin.
I get it.
But yeah, we were in there, and then we obviously had to move out because this is a glass shop and it's in Mason. And when coronavirus hit, we got slammed with work. So we moved into this new place in this Mason Business Park up in Mason area, like towards the edge of it by Kings Island. And like on the first day when we had fully moved in, our landlord was like, "You guys are way too big for this place." He's like, "Let me move some stuff around. We're gonna move you up to this other place." And literally 2 months after that, we were moving again.
What a horrific plan.
Yeah, and now we're in like a big ass warehouse. Still not as big as Allied, but Allied was a fucking monstrous.
Yeah.
Warehouse. Yeah.
It was really big?
Yeah, it was probably shit, man. It was probably a city block.
It was a big spot. I remember
Really?
trying to come up there. I've been there one time, and I was trying to go up
Homeboy's
there.
dad was at the whole...
Stolze's dad, Tony?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
the
for a while.
bigwig? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was the production manager up there, but fucking Allied's bullshit got him out of there.
Oh, okay.
After a long time. So.
I tried to go up there for lunch with the boys one time, and they told me I wasn't allowed because
Tony told you he wasn't
it would have caused too much ruckus.
It would have, dude.
Our
lunch breaks at fucking Allied were fucking top tier, man.
You also had literally, I mean, of people at the time that we would have hung out with, you would have worked with like 12 people that all kind of hung in the same circle of people.
Wait.
Working at the same
why,
place.
Why would that be a big deal? You came up there.
Literally, it would have been like
Because
they had invited
you bring
me there.
Harmeyer into the mix, dude, and shit just starts getting fucking.
Because it becomes like a special guest type of thing. Like everybody tries to start being a little more funnier if somebody shows up.
Exactly.
You know, like they would view me that day as being like they'll be like, "Oh, Harmeyer's here! Like, let's go, let's be crazy,
right.
Let's turn this 30-minute lunch into like 38. Let's get crazy, dude."
And then they start doing body shots off you and shit.
Yeah, dude, this is a deep belly button. You would get your money's worth in this belly shot. If you
That's
took
probably
a
a double
body
shot
shot
right
out of
there.
this, that's a double shot. I mean, triples we're maybe talking.
Dude,
you could take a fucking car bomb out of this pup.
I remember one time at this bachelorette party when we were down at the drinkery, like they had like this list of things that they needed to do for their bachelorette party or whatever.
Yeah.
And like one of them came up to me and was like, "Hey, can we take a body shot off of you?" And I was like, I mean, yeah, but and like that was
Just
back
hair.
before I like trimmed this at
Tree
all.
trunks
and it was
are
just,
falling
bro,
out and shit.
Yeah, bro, and my shit gets nasty, bro, nasty. And I was like, and it's the drinkery too, so it's fucking packed shoulder to shoulder, and everyone's like dancing.
Yeah, there's no
everyone's sweating.
easy way to take.
Yeah, they were just like, nah, we'll come back for a couple.
Yeah,
of
how
hours
would
with you.
one even take a body shot at that crowd? You would literally have to lay on the ground and get like a team of people to guard you in a circle so you don't get stomped.
I think they let her put someone on the bar.
Table.
Oh, really?
Just on the ground. That's crazy.
Man, but using you is tough because you're so fucking long. You would take up half the goddamn bar.
bro.
What if you had a boner?
Oh, wow. Well, that's a new thing, but yeah, that would have been tough. I didn't think of that, but yeah, Colin's bringing it all together. That'd have been a bad scene.
The problem is I got a micro penis, so I really don't get boners.
Small tent.
Just not even a small
Someone
tent,
just had
bro.
a tech deck and they were like, Kickflip over your little.
It's an extended clitoris, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. We'll see.
On a great day.
On a great day. But yeah, we should probably get into some topics at hand that we had lined up.
Dude, tech-tacking on your dick is pretty cool, though.
Do what?
Tech-tacking on your dick?
Dude, actually, tech deck, I never really got into. I remember tech deck. Well, yeah, tech decking on your dick.
I've never heard that before.
No, that's
not. I know. I just made it.
You just made it up right now. Okay.
On your dick.
Okay. I mean, that'd be fun, but again, I don't quite have the fucking surface area to actually
bust out a kickflip on that thing.
Yeah, you could use it almost as like a little. Yeah. Yes.
It's always great when we have the people that we've known for a while on here, because then it just turns into fucking bunch of dick conversation.
Yeah, you just really never know. It turns into this, that, and the other.
I've seen a lot of penis while I've been in the Army.
Yeah, that's Max does the same thing. Actually, almost all military personnel really say the same thing. They're like, to be honest, the military is probably the most homoerotic place in the entire country.
A lot of penis.
Yeah, a lot of dick.
I saw a lot of dick in like high school football locker room. But yeah, that's the most dick I've seen.
I think I've seen the
just want that out there.
Biggest penis. I've seen the biggest penis in high school.
Really?
Yes.
I was gonna say we're not shouting him out.
Was it Weber?
No. He was all my wrestling.
Oh,
God. I wrestled with him.
Yeah, but now somebody listening to this, they're like, "Oh, I might have wrestled that kid, and his fucking dick's just flopping around."
Probably no.
His third arm definitely, or third leg.
I was gonna say you probably could see it clear as day.
I'll never forget it.
Was it?
I'll never forget.
Did you?
He walked out.
Was he? Were you there with?
Just for a year.
Were you there with Orlando Scales?
He was 2 years.
We're not guessing this guy's name, Keith. Get over it.
I'm going to guess whose name this was, dude.
So he walks out of the shower, and he's swinging this thing.
Off air. No, you can say this.
Wait,
say
he was legitimately like swinging his dick around.
It was like it looked like a rope. I was like, "What?
Oh, that's uncomfortable."
Is that, dude?" And he just it sounds like a helicopter. You know what I mean?
Jesus fucking Christ!
You know, like a helicopter starts off and goes.
Right, you can just hear the wind.
That was my first time I've ever seen like massive penis like that. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah,
there's nothing weird about it, man.
No, it was weird because it was how big it was. I was like, that's not natural. That's an 18-inch Punisher right there, bud.
18 inches.
Yeah,
18 inches. You're standing someone up on that thing.
You literally could. If you had like an 18-inch, you know what?
Dude, what if they took body shots of him?
Like how Big Sean said, he's scared of heights when he sits on your dick or some shit like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but anyways, driving through fucking, and now that we've got the dick conversation out,
we had to get that out.
Yeah, driving through Taco Bell today, I had a little Snapchat of them with the now hiring sign and looked over, and it said hiring at $18 an hour.
Man, that's awesome.
It's good cheese to start off on.
That's so good for people out there that just are like, I don't want to get into the corporate thing. Let's just do fast food. I mean, $18 an hour is nice.
High school or they're down in the dumps.
Yes,
and they
dude,
need
high
something.
school. That's fucking
fresh
awesome.
out of the military.
Can you imagine if you're in high school, your summer job, not even summer job, your nighttime job, $18 an hour.
Let's be honest though, the fucking 18-year-olds and the people like out of high school and college and shit like that, they're probably getting shafted right now. Because if you think about it, we were talking about this before. Both of our jobs are like unable to hire people right now because people are collecting a check.
Yes. Mine is though, always.
That's right.
Yeah. The military will always take you, man. Go Army.
Yeah, go Army.
But the thing about it is, when you think about it, if these places are really hiring for $18 an hour and they're stealing for people they're stealing people from companies like us, then those people are probably going to get the jobs at Taco Bell because they have the more work experience and knowledge and just fucking wisdom from being older. So yeah, the college kids are probably getting shafted right now.
There's a lot of people too. Just very specifically, somebody at we're trying to find somebody in a different department at my company. They're having a hard time because there's fast food places that are paying the $16, $17, $18. They're also now giving bonuses like $1,000, $2,000,
like $3,000
to be like,
to get hired on.
If you're here for 6 months.
My business has been doing the same thing, man. We've had an ad out for like 3 months, and we've had one person hit us up who didn't show up. And we're offering like a $500 signing bonus.
I mean, honestly, some people can get pissy about that, but maybe that'll bring back younger kids going through hard work. I mean, I know working in a fast food restaurant, you may not see it as hard work, like as in like working a construction job or something along those lines. To be very
man, I've worked in a fucking restaurant.
That's
before.
what I'm saying.
It's not the same type of work that I have right now.
No, it's crazy, man. Like, dude, I worked for a higher end restaurant, but like those fast food guys, like, you know, it's hectic. It's crazy. You're working long hours.
It is, and you got to deal with people. And fucking, when it comes to food, everybody's got to eat to survive. So fucking, there's some people who are picky and just douchey and fucking.
I mean, I hate that.
Your night up.
I mean, like when I was like, for instance, when I worked at Kmart,
right,
I was making. I think my minimum wage was like $7.75 an hour, and now minimum wage is like up to like $15, $18. That's crazy.
Is it like that here in Ohio?
Oh, you know what? I was in Kentucky when I was working at Kmart, though. I was at Fort Thomas.
About the same age when I was in
that's 2013,
at Little Caesars. I was like $8 to $8.50 in the.
But even then, that's still low compared to now.
Oh yeah,
right.
And that's shoot. When I was working at Sherwin-Williams years ago, we started at $8.95, and that was only like 5 years ago. To think that now fast food places are starting at like the 16, 17. That type of a job. So to spin it positively, I hope it continues just for the fact that every single job raises. Like in terms of inflation, the actual salary per person versus the living cost in America, living cost has gone up. The salary's kind of crawled. So it's probably a good thing that it's happening. Now, if it takes a massive spike suddenly, then shit's going to kind of go wonky no matter what. But
I don't know. It's fucking shit up. Right now, it seems like. I don't know. There's a lot of things going on with it, though. Like, you know, the whole coronavirus seemingly ended with the switching of presidents and stuff like that. And, you know, when you have a switch over from a Republican to a Democrat or to a Democratic president, and Democrats are really about that universal income and stuff like that, you can see how this might be manipulated in a way that, like, we might be trying to introduce universal income to people now. And, like, I don't have a problem with universal income, but the problem with universal income that we have right now is everyone just wants to sit on their ass, and we are not automated enough to actually deal with that. And by automated, I mean like robots and stuff like that. If we have like actual factories that can just run shit the way that mechanically the way that we need to, I'm all for universal income. Everyone gets a fucking certain amount, and we move more towards like a creative and scientific type of community. But we aren't at that fucking level right now. So now a lot of people are just chilling at home.
But
yes, Colin.
But don't we have that now though? I feel like we're straying away from it now with Social Security, and then you get your EBT cards and shit too. Isn't that kind of? Well, no, I guess that's not.
No,
that's not,
universal income.
That's universal. Okay,
universal income is
Sorry,
universal income.
I'm in the army for a reason. I'm an idiot. Yeah. So
explain universal income like I'm 5.
Yeah, universal income is literally everybody gets a check once a month.
Just the same exact check.
Everybody gets the same flat rate check once a month.
Fuck that.
I mean, now universal income probably could get a little bit trickier, where if you're actually working for yourself and you're in different tax brackets and stuff like that, you might get more or less money depending on where you're at. But the whole idea of it with like Yang Gang fucking is he wants to do universal income of like $1,000 a month towards every
Who the fuck
person.
is Yang?
Andrew Yang, the guy, he ran for the Democratic Party in the last elections. He's a super progressive Democratic.
The thought is literally every single person, no matter the job, gets paid. Or
no, it doesn't matter if you have a job or anything. Everybody collects a certain amount of money at the end of the month. Everybody, all 330 million people in the United States get.
See, I don't like that because then because. Like you were saying, a lot of people want to just sit on their ass. That means they're coming more.
Exactly.
That means that they're coming more dependent on the government, and that is where we shouldn't.
And that's what I'm saying right now, because now that we're actually living it, we've had coronavirus for the past couple of years. We've had these stimulus checks and shit like that. After seeing what's going on right now and how we can't fucking find people to work our jobs and shit like that, it doesn't seem like it's something that's legitimate. But as I said before, if we move towards something that was more automated and could actually fucking afford to do that, because at the same time, because when you think about it, all currency is just fucking made up. We haven't been on the gold standard since like the Nixon era. And all money is just based on the faith in the U.S. government to make that have value.
Yeah.
Right.
So technically we could do something like that, and living in America as pampered as we are, they could make that happen. However, it's creating a bunch of people who are just lazy, because people aren't out there necessarily working towards a greater goal, like someone like me who would be like DJing and doing a podcast and stuff like that. Some people are just sitting on their ass smoking weed and fucking
hanging out, collecting their check, going on with
which has always been my problem with welfare.
Yeah, that's what I was. So like I didn't think when you said universal as in like the whole world, but
it would be more towards the United States, because unfortunately we have borders and stuff like that, so it would be something.
So it wouldn't be universal, right? It would just be countrywide.
Well, they call it universal income, but they mean it
because
like,
we're
on a national level.
We're a self-centered country, and we only worry about ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't like it. I think that's very fucking stupid. Honestly, I think people need to experience shitty times, hard times, good times. I think they need to make their own money. I think they need to they need to establish themselves. Yeah. They need to realize, going through work, working for, you realize who you are as a person. Like, you don't realize it at first, but like a year later or so, you look back and you're like, damn, okay.
Yeah. Well,
100%.
It's a learning curve type of thing. I definitely understand what you're talking about. The whole idea of just like getting your fucking hands dirty and figuring out what.
I'm not saying like
that. I'm gonna play a little bit of the devil's advocate, because I definitely do agree with you, but I think that there is a benefit towards working towards in a more advanced society where we're not necessarily working blue collar jobs, and more people have the potential to be like creative or scientific with their goals. Because there's a lot of people out there that are super intelligent that are just comfortable working as a glazer, like I am, or in an office just answering phones and pushing pens and shit like that. So I think.
Did you know I'm gonna become a meat glazer?
You're gonna be a what?
A meat glazer.
You're gonna be a meat glazer?
Yeah. So in the Army, you have to take PT or piss tests, and someone has to watch you pee.
So you're gonna be the guy that watches them pee?
I'm gonna be a meat glazer.
Okay. Well, universal income just got prepared.
You guys need someone to watch your wiener while you pee.
I'd love you to watch my wiener while I pee, man.
Oh my god.
Bring Kung
Dude, I'll gas you up.
Penis
damn,
top.
bro, you got a solid shaft.
Yeah, but then it gets kind of dicey, because then it's like, oh, well, you just told that to the last guy. He told me on my way out that you said that to him. So then you get into a fight. I don't know.
Well, I'd be like,
when you got to piss in front of someone, it gets a little awkward. So you gotta be like Collin. I'm with Collin on this one.
Tickle your butt cheek a little bit. It worked. Dude, my dad used to tell me, he's like,
it's just
if you can't pee, just start tickling your butt cheek.
Grab me one of them fuck waters over there, man. I'll buy more beer later too. I gotcha.
This one wasn't that very good. I don't think.
So yeah, Keith, you were talking about.
Did you like this one, or did you like the lemon lime?
You were talking about
the limeade was better, but
not wanting blue collar jobs.
There you go.
Well, I don't think that it's something. I think there's definitely something to be said about hard work and building yourself, fucking getting down and dirty. But I'm saying, as a society, it would be better to advance away from that, have the machines do the more menial tasks that we need to do, and have more of a creative society that is more willing about advancing forward. So,
I mean, I guess I understand from an idea of like advancement and looking to the future and stuff like that, but like, what would happen to the jobs that like need to be done? The blue collar jobs.
Robots.
Oh, you're just putting robots in all these things.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean by that's what I mean by automated. Yeah.
But here's the thing. I didn't hear you say automated. The thing with like the whole robot thing.
Yeah, but like, robots, man, pouring concrete.
People need to know how to do. They need to know how to survive. Like, I know this is far fetched, but God forbid something does happen where we need. With Texas, with the whole.
Yeah, it's a legitimate concern.
Yeah, it's like, why would you want? Like, I know the easy way sounds the better way, but the harder way and learning how to do it, or at least the basic things, that's going to make you survive. It's like, I realize, like, a lot of things, like, I wish I was in the Boy Scouts when I was in the Boy Scouts, but I got out at, like,
could have learned a lot of shit.
I was like, dude, I don't want to be around these fucking weirdos, but now it's just like, dude, those weirdos, like, they know how to survive. They know how to survive.
Right.
Like, I'm now learning in the Army, like, how to survive, like, in the woods and in a desert and whatever else, but... I'd like if I have a son down the road, like, I'm definitely gonna, like, I'm not gonna force him, but like, I'm gonna super encourage, like, hey man, like, you should probably do this because it's gonna definitely benefit you down the road.
Yeah, I definitely understand what you're talking about, and I agree with you. I do agree with you, but again, I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit.
Yeah.
So just the thought of being able to give everyone a chance at like being the best that they can be in a creative way, and if in that way advancing society forward. Yeah, it's great to have those means or have that knowledge to be down in the dirt if something happened that like an EMP hit and we no longer were able to use technology. But at the same time, life advances. We evolve very quickly, and if we ever get to a point where we can sustain ourselves, maybe there is like we connect ourselves into a simulation or some type of VR or something like that where we don't necessarily have to worry about technology anymore. The second you go into that virtual sleep or whatever, it's just the time becomes non-existent.
See, I wouldn't want that.
I feel like the world you're kind of describing is in Wall-E, the Disney movie.
Or Black
Yeah.
Mirror.
When everybody
Black
sits
Mirror.
on the bed all day and they kind of just live.
they're not connected into anything. They're just living creatures that have become so sediment that they are unable to like move, and they walk around in chairs and stuff like that.
Black Mirror.
I'm talking about actually getting plugged into some sort of virtual reality. That the second that you get plugged into that virtual reality, we no longer live in this existence. We live in this.
You're
existence.
literally talking about Black Mirror.
Yeah, I've never seen Black Mirror, but I heard there's an episode.
That's
of
a
that.
super. That's just a very.
And it's
I've never heard you
these
say this.
two dudes are in
Seems
a
extreme.
Well, this is way far off shit, but that's what I'm talking about with like advancing as a society and not worrying about the more menial blue collar jobs anymore. Again, I'm playing devil's advocate. If you think about like the whole, we talked about this on the aliens episode and shit like that. When you think about it, humans are slowly becoming smaller beings with larger heads, which means that they're becoming more intelligent and a lot more fragile. So as we become more technologically advanced, our bodies are definitely reacting to that.
Suffering.
Yeah, we're definitely reacting to that. So it kind of leads me to believe that if we were to stay on this path and become more of a technological advanced civilization, that we might not need to worry about doing the fucking menial things anymore, or having to worry about living out in the forest and hunter-gatherer type shit.
Dude.
Because we'll have fucking spaceships that are powered by their own gravitational fucking laws of physics and stuff like that.
I want to live out in the forest.
You want to?
Yes,
Oh, really?
100%.
Man versus
I
wild over here.
Kung versus wild, man.
I'd watch.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm so sick of the people nowadays. I like. Don't get me wrong. I love my friends. and,
Hawaii's changed you.
dude. Oahu sucks.
Out in the
I
jungle,
wouldn't.
dude.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to live in Oahu
Gross.
if I wanted to get away from people. So Honolulu is like L.A. It's just like L.A.
Really?
But yeah, it's
You ever been to L.A.?
yeah.
You have?
Yeah. There is.
I haven't, but I've heard that it's just completely.
I mean, it's
different
not
than
like it's
everywhere
not
else.
as fast paced, crazy as L.A. But when it comes to the homeless, there is insane.
Well, yeah, especially now during the
camping,
coronavirus.
I mean, there's tourists there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's constant foot traffic.
That's the one thing that they say about L.A. Nobody from L.A. is from L.A.
No,
That's that makes sense.
Yeah. No, you talk to anybody in L.A., like none of them.
Yeah.
I'd rather live off the grid, man, and just be around people because I don't want to be around people because it's just people nowadays. A lot of people don't have any logic, don't have any self-discipline or any fucking accountability for themselves, and I don't want to be around that. I'd rather be tucked away with my beautiful wife, our animals, our kids. Like, obviously, I'm not going to shelter my kids.
Yeah.
But I want to go somewhere where I'm far enough away from society, but close enough that I can take my kid to school.
Yeah, so that just...
You just want to live in Montana.
Something like that.
Okay.
He wants like
Miami
eight kids.
preferably.
He wants like 8 kids.
It was
in
a
old
super
church house.
dramatic
No,
way
I
that you.
fucking don't. Don't ever wish that upon me.
Well, that's kind of what
Because
you're
my
talking
luck
about.
is
But see-
my wife will get pregnant for the first time. And we'll have like a fucking 8 kids and counting type thing or whatever.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll see, but yeah, that was just a super
God,
dramatic way of being like, I love.
8 of me.
Right.
That
Yeah, I don't want
sucks.
any piece of
Good
that.
luck.
That was a dramatic way of
Good
saying I'd like to
luck.
live in the country.
He's talking about living off the grid, but not necessarily.
When you said off the grid, I'm like, what do you mean?
It
Like,
backs,
Amish
up
country?
it backs up my point too. We're becoming a society that is less fucking likely to do shit like that because you've now come to a social norm where it's like no longer acceptable to do that.
Well, I definitely-
if you want to raise your kids, the not right way, but the way you want to, you can't fucking move them off into the fucking middle of nowhere. You have to keep it in a society.
When I meant off the grid, like I meant going back to a flip phone, get minutes.
No, you could never,
dude. No, because like
you're obsessed with the memes.
As much as I love memeing on Facebook, as much as I love doing that, like I do because I watched The Social Experiment on Netflix.
I still need to watch that.
And dude, it creeps me out. And like, I mean, you these things, it's a tracker. Everyone knows where you're at.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
I'm so fine with it though.
I'm not. I'm not. I mean,
I don't give a fuck.
It can be very beneficial, but at the same time, like, you know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I mean, come on, let's be real here. I mean,
birds aren't real.
Birds aren't real.
Some aren't, you know. You're telling me a parrot can actually talk?
Come on! Back the fuck up. No, what do you mean by birds are real?
There's like a big conspiracy that birds are government spots. Like government
camera
drones.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus
Really, of all people, you should have known that.
Because people are like,
you should have known that theory.
A lot of people say like, oh, you've never seen like a baby pigeon or something. Like that's their like go-to. Like, oh, you've never seen a baby pigeon. It's like,
did you know?
I guess not.
Did you know?
Well, at the same time,
never a baby alligator.
We know sharks exist, like great white sharks. We've never seen a baby great white shark. We don't know where they made at. So
that's not true.
What?
Have we not?
I've seen one.
A baby great white shark?
I think so.
Maybe like a preteen baby white shark.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like shark. I'm talking about like shark.
Oh, the songs. Oh yeah. I knew. God damn it, you trickster.
Actually, did you know?
Shut up, dude. Pigeons, no, your points are irrelevant now. Fuck off.
No, when pigeons after they have sex, they die.
So where? How does the
I don't know if that's pigeons. That's like bees.
At least the one I fucked did. Didn't it?
Oh wow.
I just pictured Collin fucking a baby pigeon.
You're a mess.
Yeah, you're an absolute fucking train wreck, dude.
That's my buddy.
Welcome back, boys.
Welcome back to Your House, Our Rules, episode 24. That's the longest we've gone into an episode without saying the episode number.
Yeah, 24.
So
yeah, I'm happy we got all that
out of the way.
Yeah. Well, not even out of the way. I'm just happy we got it out there.
Speaking of 24, did you hear about those Turkish mob bosses?
Yes.
Dude.
Good transition.
Dude.
Good transition.
So
yeah, so Collin kind of did a little bit of deep diving into a Turkish mob boss.
I'm real big into the mafia stuff.
Dude,
I love learning about
being
it.
in a mob or mafia would be so fucking fun.
It would.
Just in general. Getting on the other side would be so fun.
I don't think being a part of
rules.
it, but being
I don't know about that.
No rules.
Looking into it.
Yeah.
Like
from like a third person standpoint,
being in it, but like not being in it. If that makes sense.
Being like the really cool friend of a guy in the mafia, but not necessarily one of the dudes out there in the streets.
You're not close enough to actually be involved. You're close enough that you might get called to the parties.
Right.
You know. Yeah. The guy who doesn't get invited to the wedding, but he's invited to the bachelor party. That kind of guy.
You know, maybe even the guy who does. Maybe even the guy who like fucking The Godfather. You know how the whole fucking premise of The Godfather was like they had all these sons and who was going to be the boss. They had the one guy who was supposed to be the straight-laced lawyer guy who was going to get them through all their shit. He was just not going to do any drugs, not going to fucking trap, not going to do anything. He ended up becoming the one that had to take over the family because everyone else just couldn't get their shit together.
Yeah, I've never seen The Godfather.
That and
I've just never seen The Godfather.
With that. But anyways, about this Turkish guy, this is going to be a very bland, or not bland, very
generic,
vague, generic.
Vague was the
general statement, not statement, but you know. So I was in school for a thing for the Army, and this guy had brought up we had every class when we started we had a topic of what we're going to talk about, and it had a bunch of bullet points on why does it hit, how does it affect military, how does it affect economic wise, how does it affect infrastructure, and so on and so forth. So a buddy of mine brought up this Turkish mob boss his last name is Peker, and that's the English version. I don't know how to pronounce it in Turkish, but pretty much this guy was just exposing the whole entire Turkish government.
Was this the dude who was in Abu Dhabi or whatever?
Because I'm not too sure.
little sound clip that you sent me from NPR was talking about like an ex-president or something like that in the 90s who got out and has been like he got
that
he's
boss,
been living in Abu Dhabi.
If I'm not mistaken, that dude just got released in 2017 from prison. So he might have been back in the 90s. He was probably big back in the 90s and then got sentenced and then just got out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but anyways, like he was exposing, I mean, from the president or whatever their highest.
Yeah, there's a lot of high level corruption going on in Turkey.
All the way down to like the police chiefs, got like, I mean, from extortion to money laundering to sex trafficking, murder, all like gun. It was crazy, and I'm just like, and I'm pretty sure America has pretty good ties with Turkey, right?
I don't know about Turkey. I don't think so. I think Turkey's one of those countries that is kind of caught up with like there's a lot of different religion type things, like kind of, but there's a lot of Jewish and Muslim like animosity there. It's not as extreme as like the Middle East that we think of, like Israel, Palestine type thing.
Right.
But there is that type of deal going on. I do know this though. Turkey is like in that Eastern Europe, almost like Asia type place. As you were saying before, I know that like sex trafficking is like fucking bonkers over in that area.
I kind of hope this I hope it kind of brings America into light, because America has a very bad issue with it, and no one wants to see that.
We have a bad issue.
Have you seen that
sex trafficking?
Oh, okay.
Have you seen that picture? Well, we also are a melting pot of society with a lot of immigrants and stuff like that, and they. I don't want to. This is going to come off as
the bathroom.
That's cool.
I'm sorry. I really have to pee.
While he walks out, I actually wanted to make. I just wanted to say something. When he brought up Turkey and his relationship with the U.S., I was going to make a joke and say I actually have a really good relationship with Turkey on Thanksgiving Day, and that was just going to be my small joke. And I was going to let you guys keep talking, but I just wanted to get that out there. I didn't say it while we were in the middle of the heat of things, but I was thinking about saying it the whole time we were talking about Turkey.
Hell yeah!
And
dude.
I was like, man, I have a good relationship with Turkey on Thanksgiving, and. Yeah, that was just going to be my 2 cents.
Thanks for getting that one out.
Yeah. Well, speaking of turkey, I eat turkey pretty often. I mean, while we're talking about it.
God damn it. Bro.
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of...
It's right next to hungry, dude.
For some reason, my dog, every time I give him ham, he gets sick. Turkey, not so much. He likes turkey.
He might be allergic to pork.
Maybe. I don't really know. Maybe. So I don't give him ham anymore. And I don't, but... We've really gone off the rails here.
Yeah, you just fucked that one
up. I did, yeah. I
guess you were just waiting for fucking Collin to come back. So
Collin, we started talking about turkey and ham as in lunch meats. In your absence.
No, Harmeyer started talking about
Well, you said
that.
something about it.
We were talking about sex trafficking, and you were talking about the United States and how we're really bad at it. And you know, the government's got their fucking hands in every little fucking bit of life. But have you ever seen that, it's like a picture that shows the missing people in the United States compared to the underground cave systems that we have in the United States.
Like in Vegas, for instance?
It's like legitimately you take fucking a map with like little dots of missing people and then a map of the cave systems that we have in the country. Mm-hmm. They line up completely. And it's absolutely crazy how well they line up. And it's one of those things where I know people who have tried, because I know a lot of friends that live down in Tennessee or in Nashville and stuff, and you go to the outer skirts of Nashville and stuff like that, they have like a lot of cave systems, and there's like caves that you can go to, but they won't let you in. Like there's like almost armed security type shit going there. Like you go, not armed security, or there's not like people guarding it, but like you walk into it, a camera picked you up somewhere, and you're gonna get someone coming into that fucking cave and pulling you out. Like
Hawaii's like that, man. Hawaii. I mean, I don't know about all that, but the homeless, like they have like. I mean, villages up in the woods and, like, the mountains and all that of just shanty towns. Of just people living up in there, like...
That's the way it is when you have those warmer environments where people don't have to necessarily, like in New York, it's hard to be fucking homeless in New York because you might freeze to death.
If all else fails for me, like, if my marriage tanks, which I don't think it ever would, God forbid, I'm just saying, like... everything failed. I said all else fails me in life, babe. Come on. But
it was the worst. That was the worst.
Bad.
But I'm serious.
Right, dude.
I'm fucking serious
Sorry,
though.
babe.
I get what you're saying, but it was just
I would go live. I could live off the earth. I could do that. Like it wouldn't be that bad.
Could you?
Oh,
though?
I would suck at it. Like today,
yeah.
dude.
I could.
would you, though?
Fuck yeah.
It's so humid outside. I'd melt like a giant
because I'm
vanilla
a
ice
kid-
cream cone.
I would love to think that I could just live off the fucking world
Not
and
me.
just be okay.
We're like military people are trained to do that. Like
True.
I could. Okay.
We
Granted,
were just talking about
for
wanting to be a
people-
Boy
for
Scout
people,
for
for
that.
people that know me, like
Right.
know my job in the army.
You're an adult Boy Scout. That's what the army is.
Yeah, right. I'm a mechanic, but you're a mechanic. Like say, I'm a mechanic, right? But you're like that's your
Well, that
primary.
means you know a lot about combustible engines, not surviving in a forest.
No, that's what I'm. But
Same
that's what I'm getting at, though. You
Exactly.
might be a mechanic, a cook, whatever the fuck you are in the military, but they teach you like your
they do.
primary job is
They
you're
do.
a grunt.
Yeah.
Especially in the Army and the Marines. I can't speak for the Navy and Air Force. And well, I mean, no, but I can't.
Throwing shade, bro.
No, I'm not really throwing shade. It's just the Navy. They don't have to run.
I'll tell you what,
12 miles.
I've never, maybe not the Navy, but the Air Force. I've met a lot of military personnel that just shits on the Air Force. All
In
the time.
Navy,
No, I've met
do you
some
just
homies
have
in
to
the Air
swim
Force
a
that are
lot
pretty cool.
more?
Right,
Is that
but
what
you
the
have to
training is?
you have to work with them hand in hand and shit like that. But like, you look at the way people get treated and stuff like that in the Air Force compared to other branches of the military, it's a tad bit ridiculous. Yeah, I'll take another one. Shit, I'm just on this.
Thanks, buddy.
But so the Air Force is very interesting though because
You got to be smart.
I have
That's
been
why
with
they get paid
I
for
have
as
been
much.
with dudes in the Air Force that they're in the field with us, so they're kind of sucking the suck with us.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if they're carrying a lot of gear or not. But they're definitely embracing the suck.
I think it's just a little bit different because like you don't have to necessarily do like the grunt work that you're talking about. Air Force personnel are trained to fucking fly aircraft, and
Right.
when you're talking about something like
not-
that, you have to be you have to be intelligent to be able to do that
But
because
you
you're
also-
operating this multi-million-dollar worth of machinery, fucking flying at like
But that's not
4 or
that's not
5G.
that's not all the Air Force though. I mean the Air Force.
Yeah, no, there's a lot.
Like the Air Force has electricians. Like
Yeah.
they have electricians. They have
Just normal shit.
They have normal trade jobs. Because I was actually working with an electrician when the last time I was in the field. Like this huge panel box I have never seen before, and I was like, dude. So like, luckily this dude is very knowledgeable.
But that's what I'm coming into. You have to be able
Really
to.
think of that.
You have to be able to operate and maintain these multi-million-dollar pieces of equipment.
Right.
So when it comes down to it, I understand why they're pampered a little bit more, but
They're
it is
pampered
what
a
it
little
is.
bit more. See that like, man.
This is every single military personnel that I've ever fucking talked to, man.
But dude, the Army is so far behind in the times. It's just not even funny. Like it's bad. Like.
You want to
it's-
get into it?
I can get into it a little bit. Like right now, like the Army is under the spotlight, like big time. Like we just had this poor girl. She got murdered down in Fort Hood.
Oh.
She was bludgeoned to death by her command, like her own command team.
She was bludgeoned to death.
Yeah, like
And fucking blunt force hammer type thing.
And
Jesus.
I'm almost positive she was also sexually assaulted at some point in time.
Yeah, see, that's one thing about the military that you'll hear. They shut down like Paris Island for a while, a couple years back, because like there was a lot of fucking rape going on.
So I don't know the full facts of I can't even pronounce the girl's name, but pretty much she was bludgeoned to death. She was assaulted. Her command team pretty much covered it up at Fort Hood, and the Army was like, "Oh, that's bad," and I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, and just kind of moved on.
So
That's
like,
kind of it.
so like now it's like this whole like people matter thing is starting to come out. I'm like, didn't realize that a while ago. Like people matter.
Well,
like,
the thing about the military is you have to like sustain a certain level of fucking grit in your life.
Yeah,
like
a standard.
If it comes down to it, you need to be able to go out and fight for your fucking country and shit like that. So things get a little bit shady when you try to produce these personnel that are willing to lay down their lives and go do some grimy ass fucking shit for the fucking country, and then you have some shit back here where like a chick's getting bludgeoned to death and raped like that, and it's obviously awful and terrible shit to do, but
so the army
can kind of see a gray area,
a very broken program when it comes to the SHARP and EO, which is SHARP is I can't remember the exact acronym for SHARP, but it's for sexual assault and rape and all that other jazz. And then you got EO, which is equal opportunity, which is talking about, pretty much, if I was a different race than you, I wouldn't pick you, but I would pick him because he's the same race as me.
Yeah,
that's EO, and it's a continuous thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's been a continuous thing for centuries.
Yeah, but
they want the same race to pick the same race, kind of thing.
No, equal opportunity is everyone. Everyone
stands for equal opportunity.
Everyone, okay. Yeah. So so if someone can report me for always picking Alex over you, that's in a very vague general statement, nutshell type thing. No. But that's what it pretty much is.
Would be a terrible pick too. I'd fucking suck in the military. Holy moly!
You'd be pretty rough in the military.
Jesus Christ! They'd wheel me out there like a battering ram.
There's no way you could. There's no way you could.
You're probably more athletic. No. You're probably more athletic than you think. Because I seen a dude. This man was large and in charge. Like, dude, he was like.
You're probably not as pathetic as you think.
No, you're definitely not. Like
he said, athletic,
and as pathetic as I think.
No, I said athletic.
He said athletic.
I said athletic.
Oh,
I said athletic.
But
we would never call him pathetic. But no, this guy, like, obviously something had to have happened to him because there's no way he would have gotten to the military being the size he was. Because that was the most obese person I've ever seen in the military. Like, he was huge.
Yeah, and he did well.
At one point, something happened to him. He either had a surgery, wife passed away, something crazy that made him, like, because, like...
Probably diabetes.
He was wide. And he was rucking. He was rucking with full gear.
Are we talking wider than me?
Yes.
Christ.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he was big.
Oh, fuck.
He was,
baby. I'm going to take a piss on that now.
He had a rucksack on. And usually when you ruck, your rucksack has to weigh 25 to 35 pounds at the minimum.
Mm-hmm.
And boy had his gear on, which is his ACH, which is your helmet, your fucking IOTV, which is your fucking bulletproof shit.
Right.
That alone is probably 40, 35 pounds.
Right.
Some extra couple pounds.
On top of it, yeah.
I felt bad for him because they were making him like that's I don't know.
That's some wear and tear on the old knees.
And
I will say
the 25th ID that's an infantry unit, so it's like.
Oh, so you're getting after it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting after it. I have actually always been in the camp that outside of professional athletes, outside of people getting paid to be athletic, just on the note that you said I might be more athletic, I honest to God believe that I'm in the top, 1% of 330 plus pound men in terms of athleticism. I would like to see an NFL combine, but for just fat guys who are over 330 pounds.
College athletes.
Who aren't who didn't
Average
compete
Joe Schmoes.
At a college level or higher in sports. I honestly, Keith, you'll like this. Keith, I think that I am in the top 1% of non-college or higher level athletes that also weigh 330 plus pounds in terms of athleticism.
Okay,
repeat that. So of 330 plus pound people in the world, I think I'm in the top 1% of athleticism, not counting people who have played college sports or higher level of sport. Like, if you've only played maybe high school level or lower, and right now you are 330 pounds, and we did a combine against each other, I think I'd top top 1% in the world.
Yeah, sure, but
I get that that's a very niche community.
That's a lot of criteria that you have to fucking hit to be there, dude.
Look, I'm not proud of it, but I made my criteria around what I think I get in the top 1% of. God damn. No, I was just trying to get into the top 1%, so that's my criteria. People at home are like, yeah, he'd be in the top 1%. Yeah, fucking thank you.
But I'm saying that what I was referencing as, I don't know, you were just kind of just fueling to the fire.
Well, yeah.
But like,
I'm an elite fat.
I don't think you could do 12 miles.
No.
Dude, that we need to come. First of all, we need to start working on merchandise, and that would be a fucking great shirt.
I'm an elite
fat.
I'm an elite
fat. Yeah,
that actually is pretty good. Yeah. I kind of like that,
bro. I've been really thinking about a lot of fucking shit that could fucking just grow a brand and shit like that, like clothing merchandise and fucking sketch videos or skit videos and shit like that.
Yeah.
The only problem is just finding the fucking time to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
An elite fat T-shirt
might
go over well.
Talk off air. I got a couple of friends that are looking for work, and that will do.
Hey, what do you mean looking for work?
For shirts and merchandise.
Yeah, I've had a couple people that hit me up, and then I fucking hit them up because like I'm doing my DJ thing, and like
Just take my word for it.
Okay, I will. We'll talk off camera. I got you.
Elite fat.
It's coming.
That's my
Don't
brand.
worry. Actually,
Well,
with this point, if you're watching
but...
the podcast, fucking please let us know. If you comment one thing, would you buy like a Your House Our Rules shirt or like?
You know what would actually be funnier is that if just because we know they're listeners, if like the Stolzies had elite fat shirts on, because they're just not.
No.
So
I wouldn't say fat.
Thing.
We have to translate the word fat to make because. I feel like
PHAT, dude.
Chonk.
No, we just put elite fat. I don't. Give
I
kind
of like elite fat.
I push.
But
it
our house
works exactly for the.
Never mind.
Yeah, for the background of it. Yeah, you can't just throw that one out there.
I mean, we could have like our like logo.
Big boys,
monitor.
big house.
Big boys, big
rules.
Big boys, big topics, baby.
Big house, big rules, big boys.
That's been the day one fucking little slogan that we've had for Your House Our Rules.
Yeah, we never really say it out loud. It's on the Facebook page though.
That's definitely
big boys,
good.
big topics.
Yeah, it's like
the
buy. Oh, of course, yeah.
Ooh,
It's
like the house, and
it's like an
then...
OG thing, but at the same time, if you really look at it, the guests that we have had on since we moved away from the 3-person podcast that we had have been relatively small people.
Yeah, you would be the largest person that we've had guest-wise in terms of physical stature. Yes,
that was probably Andre.
Oh, Andre.
Yeah,
right.
Andre's.
Shout out Andre.
Andre's 300 plus. So
I don't know if he is because I'm 340. I don't know if he is. He?
Yeah, me and Andre are tight. I know he's 340.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just and that was an a compliment to Andre just because I don't think he looks 300 plus.
No, he doesn't.
He wears it pretty well though.
He's a big dude, just a big solid dude.
Yeah, he must just have. Oh well, he's
you know what?
Marines
I'm not
training.
gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna say some fucked up shit.
No balls.
I'm not gonna do it. That's my homie, man. We've been working on fucking some track together, and like it's a legitimate fucking banger of a track. If we can just make it pan out to a way where it's mastered correctly, we can get some views.
Question for
What's
you.
up, man?
So for yours, your iCloud stuff. Are you talking about your music?
SoundCloud.
I'm sorry, my bad. Sorry,
Yeah.
SoundCloud. I'm sorry, that was very disrespectful. I'm sorry.
Dude, it is what it is. You're talking to me
So
about
what
disrespectful.
if I don't? I know, but like that's your pride and joy. You know, I know you put a lot of work into it.
Yeah.
So I don't have that. Do you still get the views and the likes and all that, even if I don't have an account with them?
Like if he clicks on it without an account.
Because I always listen to your stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh
Okay.
yeah. We're good.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing that you've said in the past when I released my mixtapes and shit. You're like, I don't really like the fucking scene. I don't like the music.
Yeah,
but
I don't really like
that
that type
click.
of music.
Yeah, and
But,
fucking
yeah, I always click.
And those clicks always help. And like I've said in the past, and I'll say it again: if you're fucking watching this video and you really like the content that we have, please share it. Please comment. Please like. Please do all that because it helps the channel grow. And it will continue to help the channel grow. And we need some goddamn help. Actually, I think it was because of the amount of videos that we have, but for the first time when I uploaded the last episode of Your House Our Rules, we had the option to actually put like ending what's it called? Like screen. You know how when you watch YouTube videos, they have the ending screen with like previous video, next video, shit like that. Like I actually, the first time ever that we had that option.
You had the option, so you can put up any video you want in that little. Oh, they put another video just similar to ours automatically?
The way YouTube works, you have the option to link whatever video you want to, but most people probably would do like the previous video, or you can do it in a way that I think, because keep in mind that I've never had this before on YouTube, that you can do one that is constantly reoccurring, so no matter how far you go back into our podcast, it'll always link the most recent podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
we could choose like Sports Illustrated Bikini Magazine photo shoot as like our next. So people watch ours and then they're like, "Oh wow, this is a really good podcast. Let's watch that next."
Yeah.
Just to keep the
Great dad bods coming on next.
Oh man, I got elite fat.
Elite fat coming on next.
We need,
and then it's just a bunch of out of shape dudes.
Dude,
it's just me cutting my lawn.
This shirt is coming out, bro. It just says Elite Fat on the fucking front, and on the back with like a jersey title, Dad Bod.
Okay, fine. All right, deal.
Fine.
All right, fucking deal.
Works for me.
In terms of other stuff that we wanted to talk about, Keith, I know you found a new dinosaur. Well, you didn't, but Discovery Channel found a new dinosaur.
Yeah.
The largest ever, yes?
Yeah, in Australia, I don't know the name of it, and because this was an article that I linked 2 weeks ago trying to get
something scope or so.
Yeah, but in Australia, they discovered a new dinosaur that it's like the long necks that you see in
Land Before Time.
Yeah.
Great movies.
I know Bronchiosaurus is one of the types of animals. I don't know the exact like fucking genus of those type of dinosaurs, but yeah, they discovered one of those in Australia, which is the largest, not animal of all time, but the largest dinosaur. Mm-hmm. Because the largest animal of all time, actually, I don't know if you guys knew.
Isn't it a whale?
It's the blue whale that currently lives on our planet. Unless you go into
what a specimen.
Until you go to you start looking deep into it.
Megalodons?
No, not even the megalodons. But have you guys ever heard of the bloop?
The what?
It's called the bloop.
Like bloopers.
Oh, I thought you just had an aneurysm. The bloop.
No, it's called the bloop.
I thought he had a heart attack.
So when you're looking at like the scale of audio frequencies that have been able to pick up on these little centers that they have around the world, there was one that came in the ocean somewhere around like a deep, deep part of the ocean or something. Something happened that made a sound that was like legitimately able to be heard around the world. Like a blue whale has some crazy shit, like a fucking 1,000-mile radius that it can be heard underwater. Mm-hmm. That's how loud blue whales are, so they can like mate and communicate with other fucking blue whales.
Right.
This thing made a sound that was legitimately picked up like with a heavy frequency all the way around the world. It happened. I don't know when it exactly happened, but it was something that like Jesus. They determined it couldn't have been something that was like artificial
previously.
It wasn't like a nuclear bomb getting fucking destroyed or exploding in the fucking Atlantic or something like that.
Fucking
it was
scary,
just
though?
like a natural thing that happened.
Terrifying.
Some people think it was like icebergs moving or some shit, but like at the same time, it's like this is a frequency this loud has never been heard.
I even said it in when we were talking about space in that one episode. I actually am way more interested in the ocean.
No,
in terms of like, whoa,
because we're just
right because we see them, I guess, because we understand those creatures to an extent.
If space is the final frontier, then the oceanic aquatic life is probably the first frontier when it comes to knowledge that we do not have, because there's so much that when we look at what's happening in deep sea, like adventures or whatever that they're doing, every time we go into the depths of the ocean, we discover multiple different species of animals.
It's always weird to me that we spend a lot, and I get we've spent a ton of money on both, but it seems to me that we spend and hype up way more our like aerospace travel, like NASA, SpaceX kind of stuff, rather than our deep sea shit. And we might do the same amount of research, but we need a little more hype around it, because I feel like we find some cool shit.
I don't have the actual statistics to it, but I think that like when it comes to government-backed things with at least our U.S. government, I think that the ocean is way more of a exploration that we have government-wise than space is, because like we no longer as a government support space exploration. Those are all private funded businesses that are.
That's not true.
NASA's private funded.
We got the fucking Space Force.
We did get a Space Force.
NASA is no longer funded by the government.
Do we have a Space Force?
Yeah,
still?
Yes, it is a real thing.
Well, that's something that Trump had instilled, but like, have you heard it?
No.
Have you heard anything about it though?
Yes, I know people that are literally enlisting for it. Like I went to BLC with a dude.
So, do you have insider information that shows that we are actually moving towards something like this? Because it was all some shit that Trump said, but it's Trump, so it's kind of like, well, is he serious about this, or is he saying this for fucking
Dude,
PR?
no.
Well, no, I knew the Space Force was a thing.
They're enlisting people right
Still
now.
a thing.
They're enlisting people like right now.
Man,
like,
that'd be kind
but
of
I went to school.
Enlisting and like going through the motions of actually making this a thing and putting people in space so that we can explore it are two different things.
Well, at least we're enlisting people.
At
some point.
It's a dude I work with. His wife was in the Air Force. She's a Master Sergeant. Mm-hmm. She just now transferred over to the Space Force.
Really?
It's a whole it's a real fucking real thing.
That's pretty awesome.
I think it should be a thing, and that's great that we are actually doing that.
But if government's coming out.
Like I said, I personally haven't seen anything that has shown.
Well, I mean, it's not.
Because when it comes to space exploration,
don't hand out a pamphlet everywhere.
I mean, no one's up there yet.
Elon Musk is the one who is doing more towards, and it might be one of those things that Elon Musk is overshadowing all the things that the government is trying to do with the Space Force because he's legitimately trying to put people on Mars in the next decade. So
not even that. I think he said within the next 5 years.
I think it's
Bill Gates was talking about buying
he said
a ticket
Joe
there.
Rogan. That's what he said on Joe Rogan's thing.
But there's a lot of things that go into that we got to see. And Elon Musk has even been quoted, we said that in the Alien episode 2, he's been quoted in saying that the first people who go to Mars, it's a suicide mission. Yeah. We don't know what's going to happen. We're going to try our best to fucking make a community on Mars, but the people who are going there, they're going to have to deal with some fucking crazy shit.
I think I said this on the space episode because we might have even dipped into this a little bit. What a way. If you were thinking about killing yourself, or you've got terminal cancer or something, and you're like, what a way to go out would be going to fucking Mars.
Do you remember when I said that that was the top thing of my bucket list? And
because everybody else's bucket list is like, oh, I'd like a
going to Mars.
Not
kill myself.
Yeah, but think of your bucket list right now. This piece of shit was like, oh, number one, stepping on a different planet. It's like, okay, I'd like to go to that one restaurant.
When it comes down to it, if you were if you gave me the opportunity, I was later in my life. And not necessarily towards the end of my life, but I was later in my life, and you're like, hey, you have an opportunity to go step on another planet. You might die. I'd probably do it. Just because
right now,
where are you at in your life, though, when you do that?
Like right now, if they came up to you, if Elon Musk's knocking
there's a lot of life I got to live to get there, but I'd say probably 40s and 50s. I'm not going to quote myself because maybe when I'm 40 and 50, I fucking have kids and I need to be responsible for them, and I don't want to necessarily just fucking off myself going to space. But
like, hey guys, Dad's going to die,
and at the rate I'm going right now, we don't know if there's going to be a Mrs. Spilly at some point in my life. I might.
I'd say 60 is a good number.
Maybe, dude. Maybe.
Keep swiping right, brother.
Keep swiping right.
But so we started this on dinosaurs. We've got a little ways off. So largest ever dinosaur. I do not, in a real sense, understand dinosaurs at all. That literally they were like real fucking things, and then every single one of them fucking died, and there's not a trace.
Did you know there's people that don't believe
dinosaurs. Actually, it's not that they disappeared without a trace.
Well, they got killed.
If you look at the more recent evidence that we have of dinosaurs, they aren't necessarily the scaly reptilian things that we have now. They're more bird-like that have these feather type things. Yes, and birds are modern day dinosaurs.
Wait, so these pictures could be complete lies?
I guess that's what we're saying. So Jurassic Park could just be all made up.
Dude,
from the evidence that we have had now, the depictions that we have of dinosaurs are not necessarily accurate. Like a velociraptor, one of the dinosaurs that they really connect towards bird life nowadays. Velociraptors were not like the reptilian type things that they had. They had these crazy ass, not feathers, but they were more like a calcified version of extensions that kind of hung off like feathers. Mm-hmm. If you know what I'm talking about, that's the way that dinosaurs were apparently And then the roars that they have with T-Rexes in Jurassic Park, they probably sounded more like
squawks.
not
That's
necessarily
still fucking
squawks, but
creepy,
like
though.
clickings and shit, like
That's still
like
fucking
Predator.
creepy.
Oh, okay. That's
still,
way
that's,
creepier.
That's still creepy.
That scares
Dude,
me a lot more.
I mean,
that
but
would be
like,
a lot more scary.
The fossils,
Yeah.
fossils that they have found of T-Rexes and all that shit, like, those are some big ass birds, bro.
Dude, that's
like,
what I'm saying.
like,
Like in my
the
brain,
one-
I'm trying to connect us in like the current living situation to just like something larger than this house just
We're like
walking
ants
around.
under a fucking rock.
Yeah, I'm just like, what are we talking about
Dude,
here?
the dinosaur you're talking about with the
Brontosaurus.
Brontosaurus Rex, that's like a big ass fucking ostrich.
I guess it's
mean,
got the
it
neck.
makes sense,
It's
you
got
know what I'm saying?
It kind of,
Or like a
kind of-
giraffe, or a giraffe.
It's
It
it's
is
an
a
ostrich.
giraffe.
I was about ready to say that. It's an
Giraffe.
ostrich, dude. It's a mixture
Ostrich.
between
Yeah,
ostrich
giraffe.
and
Well,
giraffe.
I was kind of like gearing it towards more birds, but then I was like, okay,
How giraffes are just like the direct
Giraffes'
descendant
dicks are
nobody's
huge
ever.
too. Speaking of dicks,
Really?
yes,
We weren't speaking of dicks. It's been many moons. since
Dude,
we talked dick.
Colin really wants to talk about dicks on this episode of Your House Our Rules. man.
It's been probably 35
I just-
minutes since we brought up penis, and Colin's like, oh, speaking
No,
of the
dude,
most
he
recent
brought it up.
thing
He brought it up like 15 minutes ago, man. This is the third time
Dude,
he brought
I-
up dick.
my
I kind of
brain-
respect it. He's
my
got a point.
brain-
You know, he's got a bulletin board. He's got to get to.
my brain.
Just goes back
dicks.
to dicks. Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm a little child. Like,
I feel
like I'll
it,
be
dude.
in like at work, and I'll just draw a penis on something.
There's
I still
no
do that.
way you
I
still do that.
Oh, I
What?
still do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I
Dude,
just
draw
got a piece
cannons on there. I'm like,
See, if I got a piece of paper, dude, I don't even need a piece of paper. I'll do 8 == D.
You're talking
with
like-
a fucking less than sign and a fucking 3 after it, so it looks like a fucking
Unbelievably
penis
off
shooting
taken.
skate.
It's
dude.
been since high school since I've drawn a dick.
you know, the one thing I never learned in high school how to draw was those little fucking $sign things.
Oh, the
Dude,
little like you make
draw,
the three
you draw
things.
3 lines,
and then
fucking
3
up and 3
lines. I know what
lines,
you're
and then
talking
you
about.
just connect them.
I never knew how
I
to
never know how to do that.
I actually got asked to leave art class first week
Drawing
of
a
LaSalle.
dick?
No, no dicks. We were supposed to draw a horse and close.
Speaking of
speaking
dicks and
of dicks.
horses got a huge dick.
Horse
Speaking
cocks.
of dicks, but
Yeah.
the first assignment was our teacher being like, I don't expect anybody to actually draw a goddamn horse decently. I just want to see where everybody's at. And I just remember being like, I have no drawing talent at all. So I went down to the computer lab. I was like, oh, can I go to the bathroom? And I just I printed out a picture of a horse, traced it, looked sick, brought it up to him, and he was just like, yeah. And I handed it in. He's like, this might be a little too good. How about you just like start drawing me one while I'm watching you?
Dude, we called
And
you
I like
that.
started, and I got through like one leg, and he's like, art might not be for you, Armire. And I'm like, all right, I'll see myself out. I'll take myself to singing class.
I'll take
And that's
that.
what I did.
I'll
take
see
that.
myself out.
Yeah.
God damn it.
We've been all over the map today.
We've been all over the place. Fucking Colin keeps throwing daggers in every topic that we have with his dick comments, dude.
Dude,
At one point, I brought up turkey sandwiches. I mean, let's not put this all on Colin.
yeah.
I might be the most rational person on this podcast.
Yeah, right now. I mean, you haven't really.
No, that's not true.
No, you were talking about no more blue collar job. That was irrational.
That's that. Yeah, come on.
That
done
wasn't
with that.
irrational.
I mean, he was
That's
the
the
devil's
future. That was
advocate.
the future.
He
and
was
I
a
was
great-
Is that the
devil's
future
advocate.
you want though? Like if you were creating the future, you'd be like, it's just robots everywhere.
Just say yes.
Yes,
You're
yeah.
irrational.
If I could think of a fucking society for my grandchildren, I would want a society that is completely automated, where people are thinking more creatively and scientifically, and we have the more manpower to fucking explore outwards rather than staying on this planet.
Oh, I'm
because
all about the
if
planet.
we keep going at the rate that we are, we will destroy this planet, and we will have to go somewhere else.
True, and honestly, I think our grandfathers then, like what we're thinking now, I'm sure they were thinking then when they were our age. So like them thinking now, like you know, well, I don't want all this nice stuff for them. Like, look how it turned out. You know what I'm saying?
That
So-
you're probably right in terms of them being
But
like, oh, I don't want them to
how
have
much have we
computers.
advanced since our grandfathers and stuff like that?
But that's what I'm saying. Like they
Like we have become
A good
fucking,
chunk.
we have become a completely connected society. There is no longer worrying about having to sail fucking 3 months across an ocean to go visit someone or to communicate with someone who is on another continent. We can get on Facebook and we can find. I had this dude who added me. He's new to Cincinnati apparently. He's from South Africa, or not South Africa, somewhere in Africa, the southern part of Africa, and
South.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
but he added me on Facebook, and he's just trying to meet people because he just moved here and shit like that. And I'm like, this is awesome. Like, I got an African homie.
Did he?
Is he listening?
Ask you for your credit card yet?
Probably not. He messaged me on Facebook like, "Yo, I'm Matumbo from fucking the southern part of Africa."
His name?
No.
Hell of a basketball player.
I just had to come up with the most African name off the top of my head. It is what it is.
I got another guy on Facebook who added me as a friend. I immediately added him back. Collin, you asked me about this guy.
Yeah,
I just added him because you had already added him, and he immediately messaged me and was like, "What's up, homie?" And I'm like, "Nope, he's gonna want to sell me something. He's gonna want to do this or that." I don't know the guy's name off the top of my head, but I remember he must have just been going through somebody's friends list and adding every single person. Yeah. And I am at the point where I'm like,
it might be
really
this guy that I'm talking about.
And then
it might be the guy I'm talking about.
His name wasn't Matumbo. It was like Brian or like Charlie.
Okay, no. This dude was
no. And he just like I added him, and within a minute, it was like, "Yo, what's up, homie?" And I was like, "That's spam. Like this is something. Yeah. There's something going on here." And 8 minutes later, Collin texted me. He's like, "Who is this guy? Are you good friends with him?" Dude, I'm like, I just blocked him actually.
I had this guy who added me on Facebook, and like. It was one of those accounts that it's just a straight catfish account, and it was this dude from South Houston, air quotes, and he had like pictures of him in Rolls Royces and stuff like that, and he invited me to join the Illuminati. And my response was like, hell yeah, dude, I'm all for that Satan shit. Let's eat some babies and fucking let's get rich. And he kept telling me like. He's like, I'm offering you extreme wealth and shit like that. Are you willing to hear what I'm talking about? And I kept telling him, like, yeah. I was like, dude, there's no way that a guy who just added me on Facebook 2 minutes ago is offering me a fucking spot in the single most fucking exclusive globalist fucking controlling organization that has ever existed or may not have existed. We don't know, but like I was all for it. I thought this dude legitimately was going to let me into the Illuminati, and it just got to a point where he kept trying to pitch it, and he told me that he was going to pitch it, and I asked him for his pitch, and he never gave me a pitch.
You want to join the Illuminati? Join the Freemasons.
Oh, okay.
Well, closely related, but no, some dude told me. That's why I was just talking about. Some dude added me on Facebook from South Houston, Rolls Royces and shit like that, and he was trying to get me into the Illuminati. He really didn't have the Illuminati in his pocket, but he was trying to get something out of me, and I really wanted to see where it went, but he never got to it. He just kept on fucking saying that he had.
Yeah, those are classic
extreme
immediate
wealth,
deletes. I just immediately delete those people.
Oh, I add them all, dude. Every time I see an absolute catfish account, I accept it just to see my friends that fucking accepted it too. It's always Rosner.
I actually the one that I added. I
haven't seen him since Illy.
Yeah, those were some hell of a days. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Fucking Rosner's one of my roll dogs. I don't talk to him as much as I used to, but it's one of those dudes who like fucking every time he like hits me up and legitimately wants to chill, like we're in there doing some weird shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Rosner.
Shout out. And shout out to Collin for coming on today's episode. Shout out to everybody listening. We love you all dearly.
My voice.
And peace out. Have a hell of a weekend.
Hey, I'm here till the 28th.
Hit up Collin.
Love you guys.
Old Collie Bear. We're out. Peace.